Okay, so this is my first video that I'm doing, and I've been contemplating doing this video for the past week, week and a half, um, but I feel like God has put it in my heart to do it, so that's good enough for me. Um, Basically, I wanted to, I guess, talk about what I'm going through. And that's not just me. My mom's going through the same thing. We both have lupus. And I have other friends and family who are going through either the same thing or something similar. They have autoimmune diseases or whatever. And it's affecting their life in ways that a lot of people just don't understand. Um, and I didn't understand it either when my mom was diagnosed. I just had no interest. I'm sorry to say, but I had no interest in reading about her condition because I didn't want to see any bad news or know that my mom was sick or even acknowledge that she was sick. So even to me, it was like, oh, it's in your head. She's just depressed for whatever reason. I didn't really understand it until I started experiencing the symptoms and I was diagnosed with lupus. And that's when it kind of hit me that my mom needed the support um, of me and all my sisters and my brother and my dad, just everybody. And I don't feel like we really gave it to her the way we should have. And it's not, I guess it's not until it happens to you that you really understand the severity of it and how life changing it is. And for me, it has definitely changed my life. And I know a lot of my friends and family have been changed because of it as well, because of what they're going through. Unfortunately, it's one of those diseases that attacks every major organ in your body, your lungs, your heart, your kidneys. It even affects your brain. And it's terrible. And a lot of people don't understand that because outwardly you can look completely healthy, and to them they just don't understand how you can't be feeling good because you don't look sick. And I've had to experience that many times where I'm trying to explain to somebody that I just don't feel good, and they've said to me, well, you look fine. But it's like, it's internally, it's in your body, it's your bones, it's your joints. You just don't have energy. And it's the worst feeling ever when you try to express this to people and they just don't believe you, or they tell you it's all in your head. It's a terrible feeling. And one thing that I've started to suffer from is anxiety. And this is brought on, as my doctor said, by my lupus. I also have what's called brain lupus fog, which is sounds funny, and it is kind of funny sometimes, but you forget things. You become forgetful about things that you didn't before. Um, and these are things that affect your life. And so my anxiety over the past couple of months, I didn't have it before. Um, but over the past couple of months, I've started to experience like some severe anxiety, and it's been terrible. It's been terrible. It has changed my life in every way possible. It's I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I have close friends, even family members who suffer the same thing, and I'm glad I have them to talk to because they're the only ones who really understand. Because everybody else, again, it's in your head. You have to learn to control it, which is true. We have to learn to control what's going on in our own heads, the thoughts that creep up that cause or trigger you to have these anxiety attacks. And I've learned to do that. I've learned to control it somewhat, but it's still something that's just so terrible and unfortunately affects my life right now. I just started taking, thank God, I just started taking medicine for it, but it hasn't kicked in yet. But once it does, I feel like my life will finally go back to normal. But I've learned a lot through this process. I've learned a lot through the past couple of months about my condition, um, about the things that it can do to me and my body. the trigger factors, the things that, I can learn to control myself. Um, so anxiety, I can't really control it completely, but as it's starting to come on, I know the symptoms, I know the signs, and it's really helpful that I have the family and the friends that I do to support me through it. Um, and I just think that anybody who comes to you, or if they come to you and they express that, they're not feeling good or they're suffering from something, I just hope that people really like take a second to process that instead of jumping to a conclusion that it's all in your head, or she's lying, or she's fine, she just doesn't want to do this or do that. Like, I hope people really like absorb that and understand that some people really are going through what they tell you they're going through. And so basically that's just my little message that I wanted to relay to the world. I don't know if very many people are going to watch it or even care, but it was important to me, and I know it was important to some people that I'm close to that were afraid to speak out themselves about it, for me to do this. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a good night.